So there was a period in time where like everything had just shut down, and everyone was kind of in a situation where they're like, I have to figure out what's going on. What was that time like for you? What's up, everybody? We're here today again on the Road Home podcast. We're here with Tim Cipolla from Listing Pro Realty Services. How's everything going, man?
What's going on? Everything's good.
Just taking care of business, you know? So the whole idea of our podcast is like, what brought you into real estate? What jobs did you work beforehand? And like, what kind of like pulled you towards real estate? So
I'll be very honest. I mean, literally about 6 years ago, knew nothing about real estate. Kind of had like a negative connotation towards salesmen. And I was like, you know, anybody that's trying to sell is just
scum.
Yeah, I really had a negative connotation towards it. I really didn't know much about how to make money grow. I always just thought like grind, just work 5 jobs, work as hard as you can, save as much as you can. So I was a teacher, still am a teacher. I was coaching multiple sports, and it was kind of like the movie Wolf of Wall Street, where remember when Jonah Hill approaches Leonardo DiCaprio in the restaurant?
Yeah, that's a great scene.
Dude, I love that scene. And he literally goes up to him and he's like, dude, is that your car?
Yeah. You show me a $70,000 paycheck right now, I'll quit my job for you right now.
So that was like literally what happened to me and how I got into real estate, because I was working with this guy that actually got me into real estate, and I'm currently working with him, John Enriquez, and he was doing really well in real estate. And I was just like, dude, if you show me a paycheck for how much you're making, I'll stop coaching right now. Like, I'll just stop coaching and I'll start doing real estate, and I'll join your team. So he showed me, and I'm like, dude, I'm sold. I'm going to do real estate now. And then I just started reading. I started like really reading into a lot of finance books. The first book, obviously, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And that just like opened up my mind to everything. I'm like, what have I been doing for the past like 30 years? Like I knew nothing about how to make money, how to make it grow. And it just opened up my mind to like having my own business, buying properties, you know, it really just opened up my mind.
Yeah, of course. I've read the book. It's a great book.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of have done the same thing. I've taken a similar path. You know, in the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, he talks about just get any job. And then from that job, you move to a commission-based job so that you're no longer trading your hours for money. You're trading your performance for money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm right there with you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, then I ended up buying a house with John. So my first house was with the guy I work with, John Enriquez.
Yeah.
Where was the house?
Oyster Bay.
Nice.
And
really? That's a nice area, too.
I hate to say that I regret things, but in hindsight, I would have done things a little bit differently. So my wife and I wanted to find a forever home. So we were looking in all these different neighborhoods, and we loved Oyster Bay. And we ended up buying a pretty big house. And we dug deep into the pockets to get this house. So we struggled for a bit when we were living there. And then that's kind of why I leaned on real estate with John. I was like, dude, like, show me a paycheck, show me how much you're making, and I'll like stop coaching and just do this. And he showed me, and I was like, all right, get me into real estate. And then in hindsight, like when I talk to my wife now, I'm like, we should have bought like a 2-family or something where we could rent it out, help out with our mortgage. So that's kind of like why I like doing real estate too. I like to help out first-time home buyers and give them this information so they know ahead of time what they're getting themselves into. So that kind of goes back to what I was saying before about how I used to think real estate agents were like kind of sleazy, like sleazy salesmen.
Yeah, right.
It's really not, man. It's all about like educating and helping out people. A lot of people just don't have that knowledge. They don't. And they just need one person.
It's not common knowledge.
Yeah, it's not.
No, definitely not.
And you just need one person to kind of guide them, you know, and I hope to be that person.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I totally see what you're talking about. And I mean, I have a similar story. It's so funny to mention Wolf of Wall Street. So there's a scene in Wolf of Wall Street where he had just passed his test, and then all of a sudden the market crashed.
Yep.
It was Black Tuesday. You know, literally it was in the 80s and the market like just tanked. It's been a kind of similar journey for me. I passed my test and literally interest rates went from 2.5 to all of a sudden they're in the fives. Then they were in the eights, you know. Now they're back into like the sixes.
And like
so
no
it's
one's
like
refinancing now. And
no, definitely not. No, you can't because everybody refinanced when it was
When it
3%.
Yeah.
You know, so
I was one of them.
yeah, of course, of course. I recently did a video about house hacking. So it's funny that you mentioned that. So where did you grow up?
So I grew up in Port Jeff Station. Went to a school that no one ever hears of, Comstock High School. Comstock Warriors. You ever hear of them? No. See, no one ever heard of them.
No.
So yeah, I went to Comstock. Small school, graduating class of like 250 tops. But I spent a lot of time in Port Jeff Village. I worked at Danford's. I worked at Dockside back in the day. I don't even know what it is now. But so I spent a lot of time down Port. And then after high school, I ended up going into the city. I went to John Jay, and I was going to
The criminal justice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
My plan was to be a police officer. So I went to John Jay. I was there for 2 years. In my second year, I started to realize that, you know, it wasn't the path for me. I struggled a lot in high school, and I started thinking to myself, you know, I really want to help kids that were like me, that didn't really have help from his teachers. And I wanted to be someone that could actually help these students and help them figure themselves out so that they don't go down like a wrong path. So that's why I kind of pursued teaching and went into education. So then I ended up becoming a teacher. I worked in Red Hook. I worked in South Ozone Park and South Richmond Hill. And in South Ozone Park, that's where I met John Enriquez.
Huh.
And then he became like my mentor.
Yeah, I respect that a lot because I was one of those students who was going down the wrong path. And I went down the wrong path for a long time. It actually took my mother passing away for me to kind of like wake up and know what's going on and be like, hey, you know, I'm totally messing up and I'm not doing anything right. And I've got to wake up, you know? So I respect it a lot.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't know that.
No, hey, come on, man. You know, don't be silly. So my mom was sick for like a long time, you know. So it was kind of like a relief to know that all of a sudden, like, she's not suffering anymore. You know, she suffered for a really long time.
It's horrible.
I was like 12 when she first got sick, you know. But, you know, everyone's got a different path, and, you know, things are difficult for everybody. You know, I mean, yeah, my mom passed away. You know, I was pretty old when, you know, I mean, I'm not old, but, you know, I was 29 when she passed away, but, you know, still that hits you hard, you know?
Yeah.
But it is what it is, you know? So what do you do to balance your work and your personal life? Because obviously you're working 2 jobs, and they're definitely both 2 full-time jobs. You know, you're working as a teacher, which is a clear full-time job, and you're working as a real estate agent, which you have to self-motivate, but it's definitely all the time.
Yes. So the first thing is, I have a great wife. She is phenomenal, and she's behind the scenes. So we work together. We both have a real estate license.
Oh, she is too?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
She'll be here eventually.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get her.
Yeah.
We have to get her here. It's really hard to get us together because we got to find a babysitter. But
Right.
Bring the babies.
yeah.
That's a good idea, yeah.
But she's the one that kind of like, she holds us together. She really does. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be able to do this. I'll be honest. She's very schedule oriented. She motivates me every day. And it's because of her that, seriously, I just wake up and I just go. And I do what I have to do for my family, because I cannot let her down. I can't let my kids down. But yeah, that's kind of why I do what I do. Literally since August, I've been waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I've been reading posts about CEOs. You know, they wake up at 5 o'clock, and I'm just like, 5 o'clock? I'm gonna get them at 4 o'clock.
An hour ahead.
So I wake up at 4 o'clock. First thing, I work out, clear my mind, I meditate, and that kind of gets me going for the day. I wait to drink coffee because I was drinking coffee as soon as I woke up, and I would crash around like 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow.
So now I wait to drink coffee, and that actually helps.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw a video recently. They say if you delay drinking, if you delay consumption of caffeine for an hour after you wake up, it changes the way that the caffeine affects your body. So that's really interesting that you say that.
Yep. And it's made a big difference. So then, I go to school. I'm good during the day, and then 3 o'clock, I go straight to my real estate. My showings, if I have a listing appointment, doing videos, whatever I got to do.
Open houses.
Yep. And my wife, she's home with the kids. And then after my showings, I go home, I tuck the kids in, make dinner, then start the whole thing all over again. I mean, my wife and I are under the understanding right now that it's going to take a good 10 years to build something strong for the rest of our lives. That literally after these 10 years are up, we're not going to have to work this crazy. And that's kind of like our goal. We're trying so hard to just get to the point where we could buy a ton of investment properties and just kind of let the money work for us.
Yeah, of course. Look, you're significantly further ahead in the journey than I am, but I've got the same vision for my family, and my wife is right there supporting me all the time as well, so that's awesome. I respect that a lot.
We need good ladies behind us.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's true.
Absolutely. There's two important women in your life. It's your mother and your wife.
It's true.
And both of them mold you in a way that you can't mold yourself, which I think is really cool. How many properties do you own right now?
I only have one.
Yeah?
I only have one.
All right, look, you got to start.
It's got to be a start somewhere, right? It's got to be a start somewhere.
Yeah, of course.
But it's the house I live in, so it's not an investment property.
Is it a multifamily? Are you house hacking? No.
We could turn it into a multifamily. We decided not to just because...
You need the space.
No, there's issues in the neighborhood where we don't want to touch. We don't want to upset neighbors. I don't want to say that. That's horrible.
No, that's
keep it in.
No, yeah,
look, you're being
that.
Considerate of your neighbors. Like, that's awesome, And look, I mean, I don't. Is it a legal 2-family or no? It's just regular.
So the people that lived there before us were renting out to 3 families illegally.
Wow. Really?
Illegally, yeah. So that's why one of the neighbors was really upset about, seeing us living there and thinking that we were going to turn into a 2-family. He didn't want that. We had a couple of calls to the town, so that's why I'm like, we're not going to go there. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, no, you can't. I have friends. I don't have friends. My wife has friends.
You don't have friends?
No, my wife has friends who they set up an apartment in their basement, but it was not legal, and the town contacted them and told them that they had to completely remove the second apartment. Like, they had to pull the oven, all the appliances, and make it like compliant.
Yeah.
And that's a really shitty situation to be in.
Yeah.
That's a really bad situation to be in. Like, legally, you're on the hook all of a sudden, and they're telling you you won't own your home eventually if you continue down this path.
You get hit with fines and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'd rather always just do stuff the legal way.
No, 100%. 100%.
We always support legal way here. Yeah. No one's doing anything illegal.
No.
Look, house hacking is awesome, but you really want to be on top of your game and know exactly what you're doing. You want to contact your attorney. You want to contact a real estate agent. You want to contact a lender if you're in a situation where you want to upgrade your home and make it legal and compliant. You have to do what you have to do.
Yeah. Yep.
How do you stay mentally healthy grinding like you do? What do? You work out? Does that help? Or
you wake up early.
Yeah, you work out early and you do everything early, it seems like.
So in all honesty, I feel like I'm really, really skinny right now. I lost a ton of weight. So I've been working out with this guy, and I gotta drop his name, Charlie Casera. Awesome. SC Fitness out in Hicksville. Phenomenal. So he does CrossFit. And I never saw myself as like a CrossFit guy. But I saw my wife was going there and my sister-in-law, and they did really well. They lost a ton of weight, and they loved this guy. And then my in-laws were also doing it, my mother and father-in-law. So I was like, all right, let me just try this guy out.
Yeah,
Like, let's
can't miss out on this.
Yeah. And I told him, I'm like, my goal really is, I'm like, listen, I don't care about how I look. I'm like, I just want to feel good. I want to have energy. So he changed like my whole eating plan, cut out all the sugar, no more beer. I was drinking, beer every so often. I don't drink beer anymore. And I've been taking like vitamin D and magnesium, and dude, like I have so much energy throughout the day. Like I really do. And I drink coffee, but
Vitamin D changed my life.
it really does.
Yeah, don't they say everyone in New York is deficit of
Everyone.
vitamin
So 90. I saw this on Joe Rogan. I'm just gonna preface that.
Never heard of it.
Like 90% of the population is vitamin D deficient, and it changed my life when I started supplementing with vitamin D. I don't take a lot. I know some people take like 10,000 IUs or whatever.
Yeah.
it's IUs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't take that much either. Take one,
Just takes
one
a little
tablet
bit.
a night. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just don't get enough sun.
But exactly,
we
we don't get enough sun.
No.
We evolved in an area where there's supposed to be a lot of sun, but all of a sudden now we've expanded to the whole world, and
Not
the
to
whole
mention
world doesn't
during
get the same
COVID, where
sun
we're
as
home
where we
all the
started. You know.
Yep.
Yeah. That was a big thing during COVID.
Yeah.
Vitamin D. Something like 97% of the people who are being admitted to hospitals were vitamin D deficient. And you supplement with vitamin D and it fixes everything.
you feel better too.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think it's a hormone that like affects your immune system.
Definitely
I'm
helps
not
fighting
positive
flu
on that,
and
but
cold and
yeah,
all
no, there's a lot of things.
that.
Yeah, I'm just remembering from
I don't
like
know the science behind it.
no, I certainly
I
don't.
think it's a vitamin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously it's a vitamin. It's vitamin D, but supposedly it's a hormone as well.
No, it's definitely important.
Yeah.
So how much do you work out a day? An hour and a half? An hour?
It's quick, man. So it's CrossFit, so it's just nonstop for like 20 minutes.
So I never worked out. Have you worked out CrossFit at all?
I've never done CrossFit.
So what is like the goal? Like you do one exercise?
No, it's different stuff.
Okay.
So it's just 20 minutes of just kill
So
your
some
body.
days you could just crush it, and some days you just struggle a little bit.
Yeah, dude, every day I'm struggling. Yeah, every day I'm struggling. I mean, there's women there that are killing me, and
Really?
I'm like, oh my god, this is bad.
Wow.
But I mean, listen, they're dedicated. They're fit.
It's kind of scary.
It's all
though,
about time
going
in,
to
right?
a new place to work out. You don't know what the whole deal is, and you know what I mean. Like, what are you gonna do? How do you fit in?
That's all right. You just shake their hand. You say, "What's going on?" I'm Tim Cipolla. I'm a realtor.
There you go.
That'll work. That'll work. That'll work.
Yeah. So it's not
So
bad.
what's the next your morning routine? Like, what do you do now?
So I wake up at 4:00. I go downstairs. I have like a protein shake. I literally sit in a chair. I have a chair in my kitchen. I know it's a little strange, but my wife likes to sit there and watch me cook, or vice versa, and we just like have a conversation. So we have like a nice little chair there.
Oh, that's nice.
So I have my protein shake, and I just sit in the chair, and I just like literally close my eyes, and I just sit, and I just think, and then I just don't think. Literally, I just meditate for like 10 minutes.
That's nice.
And then I get up and I drive to the gym. And then after the gym, I come home, I make my breakfast, my lunch for the day, and get ready and leave the house.
Nice.
I look at my two sons and my wife, and I just want to cry because they're just so cute.
You don't want to leave?
Yeah, of course. Of course you don't want to leave. You see them, they're just, they're sleeping there. They look so cute.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's my morning routine.
You basically get the hard work out of the way first.
Yeah.
And
it wakes you up, man. It really does.
The hardest part of the day is already done. You already
Yep.
accomplished a lot.
And you feel great.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's Monday through Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, my wife works out. So
Okay.
I do 5 days, and then she does the 2 days on the weekend. I need those 2 days rest though, and if I miss a day during the week, like this morning, I actually didn't work out because I went out to dinner last night because my brother-in-law came in from London and California, so we went out and had like a celebration dinner. I always just tell myself too, what would David Goggins do? I'm like, that
guy's crazy.
Dude, that guy is badass.
So David Goggins is a
Ultimate SEAL. Navy
so
SEAL.
he was like a regular guy,
Oh, I know
and then he
exactly.
became
Oh,
a SEAL.
dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God, all right, that's a great example. Also,
He runs like miles and miles a day.
He's gonna, like he'll rip me apart literally.
I know.
If I get him angry.
Well, he's a Navy SEAL. Of course he will.
Well, there's how many Navy SEAls are out there? Like, come on. I mean, I know he's probably badass, but there's all the reasons why he's a badass.
Yeah, of
Not just because
course.
he's a Navy SEAL.
So, yeah, but he was like a regular guy up until, I mean, for years and years. Like, he was an overweight individual.
yeah.
And then he became a Navy SEal. You know, like he was
that
like
really it, just becoming a Navy SEAL?
he was like advanced in life before he started, and he changed his life around.
So you're telling me the solution is to become a Navy SEAL?
Every man should become a Navy SEAL at least once.
At least once in
At least once in their life. Just do it.
Then you're set. You can be a real.
That's it. You do it.
It's true.
Literally, none of us are Navy SEAls.
Wait, so does that mean Tim is the super alpha male if he's not a Navy SEAL and he's still killing it in life?
Dude, if you're working out
that's
where I
not
am,
I'm not killing it yet.
you're killing it. You're killing
yeah.
it.
Not
I don't
yet.
know, bro.
Not yet.
You just said like you messed up your routine. You get right back into it. That's like the most simplest thing you think you could do. But getting back into the routine just after like one day, even 2 days of
It's
like,
difficult.
Routine is so important in life.
is.
Like one thing and then another thing, 3 things happen, and you're like, "What happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did I go the other way?"
Yeah.
Vacation. How about that? You go on vacation? Does
Dude,
that
so
mess
we-
you up?
Please tell me you're on vacation.
Oh, dude, I love traveling. So I mean, that was part of the reason too why I wanted to work more, because I'm like, listen, I want to travel and see the world.
Yeah.
Before we had kids, we went to India, we went to Vietnam, Cambodia,
You went to-
Thailand.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
You went to Southeast Asia.
Yes.
Yo, that's
Oh,
my goal. I mean, I've
awesome.
been to the Philippines too many times, but I mean, like, I would love to go to Cambodia and like backpack. And
dude, so cool, man.
The weather is great there, right?
Oh, it's hot as balls.
Hot as balls, but probably nice though.
So you
But
guys
but it's nice.
From there you go.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. There you go. But yeah, when we went, I remember one day in Hanoi, it was like literally like 130 degrees.
Oh my
We
god!
were sweating our ass off.
Jesus.
It was bad.
They had
It-
air conditioning,
Where's
right?
Hanoi?
They do, but it was.
I don't think I've
it
ever
was so
felt
hot.
130.
It was
Yeah,
like
no.
it was literally just like walking
Other
into
than
an
the
oven. It was,
shower,
it was
you know.
hard.
It's like humid too, like, or you just
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where's Hanoi?
North Vietnam.
North Vietnam.
Yeah, North Vietnam. Dude, it was a beautiful country, man. Vietnam was awesome.
so
Cambodia
that's-
was cool.
That-
That was my favorite because
I would love to get to Cambodia.
we saw.
It's so easy to know everyone's names because everyone's named Tenzin over there. You guys don't know that. So,
What?
I don't know that reference, but it's
So,
hilarious.
yeah, well, true. Everyone's named Tenzin over there, like almost everybody.
Really? It's like John or something.
So it's like
it's like John.
in like other cultures, they'll name
Okay.
themselves like Carmen. Like my cousins, Carmen Sophia, Carmen Talia, Carmen something. Everyone's named Tenzin something, Tenzin something, Tenzin
Really?
something.
Where does the name come from?
I don't know. I just have a lot of friends from college
Okay.
named Tenzin
Huh.
something.
Wow,
I
that's
don't
funny.
know.
Tenzin. Seriously,
That's
look
funny.
it up. You can even on Google be like, yeah, everyone's
Probably look it up after
Everybody's
this.
right there.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's funny.
I don't think I've ever met anyone named Tenzin.
Probably never met a Cambodian then.
That's.
I would be down
I
to go.
mean,
As long as the weather is nice and warm.
It's nice,
whether or
yeah.
I
not
love anything
have,
that's
but I
warm.
don't know.
Islands, anything like that. It's warm. I love it.
You should go to Thailand, like the islands of Thailand. I never went, but seeing pictures and everything, I want to
Yeah.
go.
Steve, do you know the capital of Thailand?
Don't say it. Don't fucking.
I think it's Bangkok.
Yo, get him.
Bangkok.
Alright, so that was before kids. So
That was before kids.
Yeah, what's the last
Before kids.
vacation you did?
So last vacation we did was Italy. We
Nice.
did Lake Como.
Oh,
Lake
that's
Como.
awesome.
Yeah. Yep. That was really cool. So we did Lake Como, we did Venice, and Milan. That was the last
Beautiful.
trip. And a
That's
little bit of
awesome.
Switzerland. We did Switzerland for like a day. And I would love to go back. Switzerland was cool.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah.
I heard
Beautiful.
only good things about Switzerland.
Yeah.
How's the weather there?
Oh, it was nice. Crisp air, just it's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, it was chilly, but it felt good. You know, just nice.
So you went
crisp-
straight from Italy to Switzerland?
When we were in Lake Como, we took a bus to a train into like the Swiss Alps.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool.
That's
We
super
can't
cool.
just do that here.
No.
Just hop in a train, go to another country.
I
You
know.
can do that here.
I know.
No, but it's similar. You know, you could hop on a train and end up in, you know, the Adirondacks.
Yeah, I don't want
They're right there.
It's not as cool.
No, definitely not. Definitely
Not as cool as Switzerland.
So I actually did some backpacking, and I
Europe?
yeah,
Nice.
So I hitchhiked the Autobahn.
Nice.
In Austria from Vienna
Okay.
to Venice.
That's cool. That's a trip.
Dude, the water in like the rivers that they have in Venice,
It's like pristine.
It's
Oh.
crystal clear. Not Venice.
not
Not
Venice,
Venice.
yeah,
In
Vienna.
in Austria.
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah,
Austria.
yeah.
It's like crystal clear.
Venice, I was going to say.
Crystal clear water.
I know.
You know, I couldn't believe it. Like you look, you're driving down the highway, and there's like a river running beside you, and it's like a crystal clear blue river.
Yeah.
You're like, what? Like literally, it looks like the Caribbean, like just like the same blue as this wall right here.
Yeah.
Like incredible, and it's just all water coming off of the Alps. You know,
I know.
just coming out of a glacier or like
Clean water.
Yeah, beautiful, pristine water.
It's gorgeous. So
Yeah.
when did you do this? When you were in high school or after high school?
So I was probably about 23, 24. And I hitchhiked from Vienna to Venice, and from there I took a plane to Palermo in Sicily.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
That was really cool. Yeah, Sicily's awesome. And from there I actually went to Africa because Americans are only allowed to stay in Europe for 3 months within 6 months.
Okay.
So I had already been in Europe for 3 months, and I had to leave.
You went by
Otherwise-
yourself?
I was traveling with someone at the time.
Okay.
But I left the country by myself.
Huh.
I met someone that I started traveling with afterwards.
Wow.
But I
Ballsy.
mean, I had like $600, and I quit my job,
And you're just like,
and
I'm
I
out.
bought a plane ticket to England, and I was out. Yeah.
Dude, that is awesome. That's cool. No, that's cool.
No, it was awesome. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But
Yeah.
the thing that precipitated me leaving was
Not awesome.
Not awesome. Yeah. I had gotten in a really, really bad argument with my family, and I was just like, you know what, I'm quitting my job and I'm leaving the country. Straight up. You know? But I ended up traveling through Europe, through parts of northern Africa, and I mean,
We're in Africa. Anywhere specific?
I went to Tunisia.
Wow.
And I went to Egypt in Africa.
Do you speak the language? Can you say something?
You're funny. No, I can say
Don't mess up.
I can say Wehet Neen. That's like
Is that a slur?
that's
bro?
like one.
Call me?
That's 1 and 2. That's 1 and 2 in Arabic. That's it. That's all.
All
I know.
right.
Speak
Yeah.
Arabic?
Yeah.
Well, the northern part.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, in Tunisia they speak Arabic and French. In Egypt, they only speak Arabic.
Did you go to Morocco? Morocco's up there too, right?
I did not go to Morocco.
Heard Morocco's
no.
really nice.
Yeah, Morocco's supposed to be beautiful.
So did you meet any Habibis there?
People that I loved? No, I was traveling with somebody at the time.
Oh, so you had a Habibi already.
I had a Habibi at the time. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna have to cut this part. I am a married man.
You had a life before this.
I mean,
Yeah,
you're-
no, of course.
you're
I'm only
born
kidding.
in England.
I'm only kidding.
Born in
Yeah.
England.
That's true. Yeah,
you
I
really?
was born-
Yeah.
I was. Yeah,
we
yeah.
gotta talk about this
So,
more.
so my dad went to medical school at Newcastle University in Newcastle upon Tyne, England.
Huh.
And he met my mom. My mom was working at a convenience store that her father owned at the time, and he basically kidnapped her. He was like, "You're coming back to America
Oh
with
my
me."
God.
Yeah. So he was in medical school, and then he stole my mom back, brought her back here. You know, I was born over there while my dad was still in medical school.
So you're a dual citizen.
So I have a British birth certificate.
Okay.
So technically, I'm a citizen of both countries.
Yeah.
But I don't have a passport for England.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you speak
I have
British?
I have an American passport.
Speak British.
Yeah. Technically, but yeah, I mean, I was born there, so I'm entitled to citizenship. Period. You know.
No, but he's asking you, can you speak British?
Speak it.
Can you give us your best British sentence?
I mean, as a baby, you probably had an accent, right?
I was my family moved over here when I was about 6 months.
Yeah,
old,
but your
so
mom had
no.
an accent, right?
My mom had an accent my whole life, of
So
course.
you probably picked up a couple of things, no?
What do I say differently?
When you were a kid, you probably had a lot of Cheerios.
No. There's several words that I say.
Charlie.
There's
Look at
several
that
words that I
Jason.
say very differently from most people, but overall, you know, I mean, I certainly didn't pick up an accent. You know,
Boo.
Fake English.
I mean, maybe you get more business if you have an accent. I'm just saying.
like about
A boot?
a boot. Yeah.
Canadian. Not Canadian? A boot?
Well, yeah, if they say it that way.
Like get in the what do they say in Canada? Like LLA. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Let's go to the
They say
washroom.
A. They say A a lot. Yeah.
There you go.
What's up? How's it going, A?
That's not Australian though.
Yeah, it did.
Hello, mate.
Why weren't you born in Australia?
I have no idea what's going on right now. Exactly.
That's one place I would love to go. Have you gone to Australia?
Australia? No, I never went there.
See, that's the one place I don't want to go. I'm so scared of all the
I
animals
don't want to
there.
go deep into it, just by the water.
I'm scared of the insects, man.
Yeah, I've heard spiders are like insane.
They're like monsters.
I don't even want to go to the airport. Like the bathrooms.
Oh yeah, the
in
airport's horrible.
There might be a giant spider just chilling in the airport. Literally, you get there and all of a sudden you're met by a giant spider.
All right, we know who kills the spiders in your household. Not you.
No, I do not kill spiders. I run the other direction. I'm the
opposite. I gotta
allergic to
kill it
spiders.
immediately. I just gotta kill it. So.
Man. You gotta take care of it.
Yeah, take care of it.
That's it.
Or the girls
Or
are gonna be
else
like, "Oh my god, there's a spider!" Ah, like. Then what? You have to kill it. You can't not kill it after that.
I mean, you can kill it if you want. So have you seen anything recently that's been interesting to you? So have you run into any situations that are unique that you haven't run into before?
As far as real estate,
Yeah, of course.
Or in regular life too.
or real
Yeah, of course.
lot of
We're
weirdos
just
out
here
there.
hanging out. Yeah.
anything interesting?
What's changed within the last year and a half?
Rates.
I mean, yeah.
Obviously.
I mean,
Yeah.
houses are sitting now. I mean, you're not seeing homes flying off the market.
No,
and you're
definitely
not
not.
seeing these long lines, for open houses. You're not seeing prices that are 50,000, 60,000 over ask. You're not seeing that anymore. And you're seeing a lot of price drops.
Yeah.
So,
I've seen a lot of price drops. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's
But
all.
people can afford houses now that they probably couldn't, down payment wise, or the prices of the house
Yeah.
going down.
I mean,
Yeah, of
It's
course.
not good for us, but it's good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, as lenders, I always tell my buyers too, like, what would you guys say to this? So I always tell them, listen, the rates are high, but there's ways around it. I mean, you could refinance in a later. We all know that. But what about an adjustable rate mortgage? I always tell them, like, you could get an adjustable rate for 10 years. So it's 10 years fixed.
Yep.
And
then
it's,
refi out of it.
yeah, and then refi out of it. And it's a lower rate. I mean,
Yeah.
that's-
Look, people who purchased homes 3 months ago are already in a position to refi.
Yeah,
because
it was
3 months ago,
7.5%.
it was
Yeah.
almost 8%. It
And now
was
it's at
close
6.
to 8%, and now we're in the sixes.
Yeah.
So
You're
that's
right.
a 2% savings.
Yep.
Like, that's huge. That's hundreds of dollars.
Right.
I know. And I think a lot of times in real estate, people focus so much on the interest rates, but there's so many ways around it. What they should focus on is the purchase
Payment.
price. And the
Purchase
payment.
price. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Well, so I always say the things that you want to focus on are the costs to get in the house and the cost to stay in the house.
Yes.
That's the most important thing. How much you can pay monthly and how much do you have to pay up front in order to get into the house.
Mm-hmm.
Those are your two figures that you really want to pay attention to.
And nobody's staying in a house for 30 years at this point.
No.
No.
5 years, you want to either move up, or you want to sell the house, or you want to refinance or cash out,
Yeah.
whatever it may be.
I think that's the average rate, actually, is 5 years
Yeah.
nationwide
Yeah.
that people stay in a home and then move again.
Correct. Yeah, I think so.
All it takes is
think
one
so.
neighbor to say, "Oh, I took cash out," or "I got a better rate," and they get the itch.
Of course.
You
Yeah.
And that's another thing. A lot of people don't even understand the concept of, like, taking out a home equity loan.
No.
And then using that money to
make more money.
make more money. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, we did that. We're on our second home equity loan. The first one we paid off. The second one
HELOC?
yeah.
Really?
No, home equity loan. I didn't do a HELOC.
Oh.
So I did a home equity loan.
So like a cash out refi.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we just did another one. I had to repair the roof, but then we had the extra money, and the stock market's going down, and I'm like, what? Some stocks. So I'm like, why not? I'm like, the rate for the loan that we took out was 5%. And I'm like, if I could put it into a stock like Apple that makes 10%.
Exactly.
Yeah. Of course.
5% ain't bad. I mean, maybe back then
Yeah.
it's like 5%, but now it looks great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Apple's going nowhere, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Apple,
dropped a
Amazon.
little bit, but it's all right.
Yeah,
I know it's going to
exactly.
rebound.
Right.
Just
So
buy shares.
rates
Exactly.
that were in the threes were here because there was like
Like a market correction.
there was a crazy thing going on. Like
Yeah.
COVID happened, So like the average rate is like between 5 and 7% in the 90s, it was high as 14, 15,
I know.
16, 17%. Like
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Well, in the beginning of COVID, it also the rates hiked up a little bit before it kind of
Yeah, it dropped down. Yeah,
it dropped down big time. Everyone's
Yeah, that
ready
was
to
before
refinance.
I was actually even before I came into the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah, everyone was cashing out. Everyone cashing
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
That was
Of course.
literally, that was like the beginning of my real estate career. And that was wild.
Hey, at least you got in at the right time.
Yeah, I
right?
really did.
Yeah, you got in earlier than I did.
Literally, my first day as a real estate agent, my brother called me up and he's like, dude, I'm selling my house and we just found a house that we want to buy. You better get over here.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
I know. So
That's
I left.
great.
I remember I left. I was coaching baseball. I left and Enriquez covered me. And I literally went to the house.
guy.
I showed him the house. My brother put in an offer and boom, there you go. I got 2 deals in my first day of real estate.
That's what's
I had,
up.
I had the
right there.
listing and I had him buying. It was
great.
awesome.
That's amazing.
I know.
That's not typical.
That was wild. I was like, this is easy.
This is easy. Usually people have to work for their first deal.
I know. I was like, man,
Yeah.
I could do this forever.
Where were the houses that you sold?
Where were they?
Yeah, the first ones.
So the one that he listed was South Huntington, and then the one that he purchased was in Dix Hills. So
Nice.
yeah,
Both of them.
So it was awesome. Yeah, it was really good.
It's not bad areas.
And then a couple of months later, I was throwing memes on Facebook, and they were like silly memes. Like I had Mayor De Blasio on there saying like, "Call Cipolla Homes," like just silly stuff like
I
that.
gotta see this. That's great.
Yeah, so literally, I had a friend from high school. He called me up and he's like, "Dude, literally, COVID is shutting everything down, and my real estate agent doesn't want to work with us. We need a house. Can you help us?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'll be over in a second. What do you want to see?"
Yeah.
Right? And I ended up helping him out, and then literally, we got into the house, got an accepted offer, got the inspection done. The next day after the inspection, COVID hit, everything shut down.
Oh,
So it was like I just got my
jeez.
3rd deal in like 2 months, that quick, and then COVID like shut everything down. It was awesome.
So what was
Well,
the
that
period-
part wasn't awesome. But
Well, no, I'm sorry. It was awesome.
COVID was awesome.
That's horrible to
Canceled.
say.
Canceled.
All right, yeah. That's,
All right.
that's horrible. I can't say that.
So there was a period in time where like everything had just shut down and everyone was kind of in a situation where they're like, I have to figure out what's going on. What was that time like for you?
I don't want to talk about that, man, because it was. So I was living with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, and dude, every day was like a party, man. Like we had a good time. Like,
Really?
Yeah, we were chilling. Like it was good, man. I was doing a lot of real estate, and it was fun, man. When we just had our kid too, we just had a newborn, so that was really cool. It was a lot
Yeah,
of-
your first one's like 2, right?
my first one's 2, yeah. So he was born right like with COVID.
Yeah.
So
Wild to think about.
Yeah.
I know, right?
So weird.
I know. So yeah, it's. I don't know. What was your question?
So
I don't even know what the hell you're asking.
after COVID hit, there was like a period of time where like nobody had any idea what to do. You know, all of a sudden you're stuck in your home. Your job is to generate business. What did you do during that time?
So I talked to John, and he was like, "You got to get on social media." And I do wish I started to really do a lot of videos then. I just didn't know much about like how to do the videos and like what to do.
Right.
But that's when I started putting out like those memes. I started throwing like
Those are the easiest part to get in there.
That's
They
where I
were,
started.
yeah.
I started
Yeah.
with memes.
Who
Yeah.
doesn't like a good meme?
I know they're funny.
Of
Yeah,
course.
They're
Yeah.
easy.
Even if they're dumb, you could just laugh at how dumb they are. You know?
Exactly.
Minimum effort, kind of, sort of, most of the time.
Yeah. So like I started doing stuff like that, and just posting. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew I was a real estate agent.
Yeah.
I contacted family, friends. I had a couple of friends that were like, "Dude, we know you're a real estate agent. Like, leave us alone." I'm like, "All right."
I love it.
So,
That's great.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I was doing. So when we couldn't go out, I was calling everybody up and just
That's
letting them
great.
know. You know.
That's awesome.
Those are the people that are trepidatious of salespeople. Just like you were trepidatious of salespeople when you got in the
You
industry.
are that
I
person.
know.
You know?
Oh man.
Funny. I was the exact same way. I was concerned and trepidatious of like salesmen. You know, like I viewed the car salesman as this like scummy guy who was trying to take advantage of you.
Trying to take your money. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're necessary, though.
That's not how it is at all.
No,
You know,
it's not.
especially with someone like you where like your goal is to help someone get into the best situation possible. Period.
Yeah.
You know, and you know.
I mean, at
that's
the end of
awesome.
the day, they have families too. They have children to feed. Like
Yeah.
it's their job.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the way you got to look at it.
Someone's always got to push.
Yeah,
A little bit. Someone's got to push.
You got to. And a lot of people, they're wishy-washy. They don't know what they
Right.
want, so they need that.
They need
that
a little push.
Yeah.
Whether it be that direction or left or right.
Yeah.
Some people just won't make a decision at all.
Yeah.
So
That's funny.
Okay, so if there was a draft for the Yankees, and there's only one spot left, and the only two options was you and John Enriquez, who's getting drafted?
I've never seen John Enriquez play, but pitching wins, and I'm a pitcher, so drafting me. Sorry, John.
There you go.
that's
There
good.
you go. I like that.
That was perfect.
That's my own question.
That was a good question.
All right, wrap it up now.
What sports do you coach?
So I coach boys basketball, girls basketball, soccer, which I never played in my life. I helped
You're
out.
just tall.
I helped out
So you
Enriquez.
play basketball. Yeah.
And then baseball. So those are the sports I coach.
And you're a pitcher.
And yeah, I was a
Lefty,
pitcher.
righty?
I was a righty, man. I wish I was a lefty, but I was a righty.
Is lefty harder?
Yeah. Not harder.
Well,
It's
No, like is it harder to hit a pitch from a lefty than it is from a righty?
Yeah, it tails. So if you're a righty batter, usually the ball tails in on you. Lefty, it tails away.
Oh.
so yeah, you get the
Yeah,
ball
that
coming at
makes
you
Yeah.
that way instead of,
Dude,
you're
cra-
more of a specialist.
there you go.
crazy story. I know we're wrapping this up, but crazy story about this. So I got back into baseball when I was 30, so like about 6 years ago, and I was pitching really hard. And I was like, oh my God, like I can't believe like I'm throwing harder than I was in college. Like
Really?
I was throwing really hard. I was throwing like 87 topping out. And that was pretty
Wow,
hard.
holy shit.
Ooh.
I mean, for some people, they're probably like,
Man,
dude, like
you can
that's
kill a guy with that.
Yeah,
That's close. Yeah, that's
I was
like close
throwing-
to professional.
I was throwing
speed,
hard,
right?
So they throw like 100 miles per hour now. But
For 2 years and
So they're doing
they're out.
15 miles higher than you. Yeah.
it's a big difference. But pitching in the playoffs, and my arm is like just shot, and I ended up taking like a couple of Advil to like just make the swelling go down.
Yeah.
I go out there, I'm just throwing as hard as I can. My arm feels like it's gonna fall off. Literally, I was like, this is gonna be the last pitch I throw. Rear back, I threw as hard as I could. My arm snapped in half, so I broke my humerus in half. It was like Bugs Bunny, where it just like went like that.
Oh my god.
30 years old, just snapping my arm in half. So that was it. I don't play baseball.
Levy, get the clip somehow. Get the clip and we can show
Is
it.
there
Is there a
Is there-
clip?
Is there a
Video
clip
of
of it? No. I have a picture of me like in the hospital with my wife like feeding me like soup or something, and I'm sitting there with like my broken arm like pissed off.
Wow.
So you went to pitch, and
just
your
broke.
arm just
It
snapped?
snapped in half. Yeah, this whole thing just snapped my humerus. It was wild.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
How long was it
can't
until
even
you were
imagine.
normal again
Like
with your
back
arm?
again.
I mean, can you pitch now or just no?
I don't know. I'm not messing with it.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not
fuck
messing
No,
with it.
I don't even know. I won't try.
Yeah.
But no, I had like a
I
thing
wouldn't
on for like
try
6
ever.
months or something.
And they were fine.
Yeah, and then it was fun. But yeah, it's pretty wild. Crazy
Oh,
stuff.
that's I can't even imagine.
We gotta find that clip somehow.
Though. I know. There has to be a video
It's
somewhere.
gotta be
I'm sure
Someone
took a
posted
video.
it.
How many years ago was it?
6. You said?
It was 6 years
6
ago.
years ago?
Yeah, 6 years ago.
Someone had that
was
recorded.
definitely filming it.
Yes.
We'll have to look it up. We'll have to find it. Why don't you shout out your Instagram, Facebook, whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What are your tags on Instagram and Facebook?
So you can follow me at Tim_Cipolla or Cipolla Homes. My last name Cipolla. I'm sure
There we
you guys
go.
are gonna put that on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your wife's Instagram name?
I don't know.
We'll cut it out. We'll cut it out.
Podcast is ending now.
That was the best question you got on that.
We're getting in trouble here.
That's great.
It's great, and he doesn't know his web Instagram handle. All right.
Yeah, right.
We gotta get it for next time.
That's bad.
That's funny.
Can I look quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, of course. Take
Yeah.
your time.
She'll be like, "Oh my god, you shouted me out, and you remembered my."
And you forgot my. Oh, man.
That's great.
Ah, dude.
I'll be perfectly honest.
Oh,
I
she's here.
do not know my wife's.
It's just
Instagram
Jacqueline
handle.
Cipolla. That's it.
All right, so we'll.
Jacqueline Cipolla.
All right, put it back in your pocket, and then we'll act like we just asked you, and you're like, "Oh yeah, obviously it's Jacqueline Cipolla."
That's great.
Quick cut, ready?
All right.
And what's your wife's Instagram?
Oh, it's Jacqueline Cipolla.
That's got to be the end of the
We've got to put this whole.
Why did you laugh at my Instagram?
Oh, man. Like, why are you laughing
so
at me.
funny. That's
It's just her name.
All right, that's a wrap. We're good.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thanks a lot, guys.
That was fun.
Yeah,
Great,
thanks
man.
a lot, man.
You guys are awesome.
Appreciate you coming.
It was fun.
It was great. Cool vibe here, you know.
Yeah.
We're
You're like,
not,
oh, my wife.
I just want to emphasize, we're not cutting a second from that. That was all perfect.